Hi everyone, Tim the Plane Man here, and welcome to Plane Time VTBird edition. This is something I've been waiting for since January. This box was shipped from China. It has taken 6 months to get to me, and it's a crazy journey. Maybe I'll talk about it later. But in the meantime, let's get to it. Let's open the box. Okay, now we're back live. Look at this beautiful machine that we've got here. Is there more? Yes, there's more stuff in the box. Okay. Wow, look at that. Okay. So first, before we get to the gadgets, which I will love to get to, let's take a look at the plane. What a beautiful plane this is. This is the fin wing, aka shoe wing, VTBird. And this is a VTOL, and we'll see how that goes with the wings, but you can see here the carbon fiber spars where there will be a motor mounted at each end. There'll be 4 of those, and there is, let's open it up, have a look inside. Oh my goodness, I'm so looking forward to being able to put all of the electronic gadgetry in here. The 10th of January, this was shipped across the ocean, and I was supposed to have this in the winter when it was still snowing. And my plan was that I was going to build this and then have it ready to fly in the spring. And it didn't happen. And this plane took 6 months to get from, it took a month to get from China to the United States. Then it took 3 weeks to get from the United States to Canada, which is, a few kilometers away. And then it took 4 months to get from Toronto to me here. And wow, that's a long time. But anyway, okay, it's here and it is exciting. So here we've got one of the most fun things about this model is how huge it is, because look at that, there is just a massive amount of space in here to put flight controllers and huge batteries, and I've already got a Raspberry Pi Zero W all configured and ready to go. And if all goes well, there's a mounting bay here for the camera, and I have a camera that is built for mounting underneath the plane that is going to go there. As you can see, wow, that is what I've been so looking forward to, that, and that is just what I've been hoping for. That is just beautiful. Oh, I know what that'll be. That'll be this, in case I'm not using the rear facing motor, but I'm pretty sure that I am. I think this is a 4+1. So long ago, I forget what I ordered. The Finwing VTBird comes in 2 flavors. One is a tilt rotor, and one is a 4+1. So if it's the tilt rotor, then there'll be 4 motors here, and 2 of them will tilt at the front. And if it's the 4+1, there's 4 motors for vertical lift, and they don't change. And then there's a fifth motor that gets mounted on the back for forward flight. Well, I forget. We'll see. We'll get to that. Okay. I've got to see there's another box. I've got to see what's in the other box. Okay. Now what we have here is we have our tail assembly. So this is a tail boom. It's got a bit of a ding. That's a bit unfortunate, but there's the tail assembly. The tail plane is basically just an elevator. There are 2 vertical stabilizers that go here, optional rudders, and according to Ben at Finwing, at Shoe Wing, it doesn't necessarily need them to fly, so we'll see. But here, that's basically how that goes. And we have wings. Look at those beautiful wings. Okay. So I've seen one of the other guys, Crunkle Floop, just posted this his build of this plane, and he was sort of a little concerned about how big it is, but honestly, it seems a little smaller than I expected, and I'm quite happy with the size there. This is just gorgeous. So look at those wings, nice and square, lots of load for forward flight, should be awesome. We will figure those things out in a minute. Okay, we are going to have to put this together because we can, and it will look awesome. So let's see how that goes, because that should just slot in, I believe, except that I've got them upside down. So how's that go? Oh, it's got to be down. How does that work? There we go. Now, of course, I'm not putting in all the electronics and things like that. I just want to show you how it looks. But oh boy, it's beautiful, solid foam. Like that is really good quality, stiff and sturdy foam. Probably some of the best that I've seen. And look at how everything is already pretty much pre-assembled, and that just clips in, slides in, which is great, because even though it's not too big, it's still pretty big. I think I'd have some fun getting it in my car with that if it's that big, but with the wings coming off so easily, I think it won't be a problem. Let's see how the booms slide in with the tailplane. There's screw holes there, so they'll just screw in there. So there it is. I mean, look at that. That is just gorgeous. Now I am going to just quickly take that tailplane off again because it's just really too big for here. But what I want to do is I'll show you this. Look at that. What a gorgeous plane. Now, of course, I'm going to have to put some color on here for sure. And I have plans for navigation lights actually. So I'll have to see how and where they're going to go. But that's the plane. So I'll just push this a little over here and let's see what kind of gadgetry we got in the box. But first of all, we've got our motors, well, some of our motors. So these are the vertical lift motors, which I'll have to install. That's fine. I love installing electronics. I really do enjoy that. What have we got in here? We've got beautiful Sunny Sky EOLO propellers. Look at these propellers. These are just gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. So two propellers, two EOLO, and I can't see the size on them. Oh, here we go. They're 15 by 5.5. Okay, so I opened the other propellers and I have 4 propellers here. That might mean that this is a tilt rotor. Well, anyway, we'll get to that, and it doesn't matter one way or the other. Either way is going to be interesting. So this will be the vertical stabilizers with optional rudder. As you can see, it's not cut. It does have a mounting for a servo horn in there, and a space for a servo, but it's not cut, and it's optional apparently to include the to actually use rudder. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to do that or not. We shall see. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so here we have all kinds of gadgets, just nuts and bolts, extension wires, brackets. There's a whole bunch of DB9 connectors and things like that. That's just hardware. That's not the fun stuff. This is going to be the fun stuff. 40 amp ESC for one motor. Another 40 amp ESC for the second motor. Another 40 amp ESC for the third motor. And a fourth 40 amp ESC for the fourth motor. So again, starts to look like we've got 4 motors in this plane. And then we've got some extension motor wire and a bunch of XD90 connectors and bullet connectors. So it looks like I'll have some soldering to do. I can see from here that the ESCs don't have have ends connected to them. I think that maybe there's choices. There's a reason for that. Sometimes you've got to have choices. So this is going to be another motor, I'm going to say. We shall see, but I'm still short 2 motors at least. So hopefully this is one of them. This is okay. No, this is servos. So there are 2 servos in here, and these are so now we know this is a tilt rotor. And so what we have here, a bit like the T1 Ranger that I did not so long ago, and that some of you are flying and is a lot of fun. Well, this is a big tilt rotor machine, as you can see, and these are specially designed tilt rotor servos that will basically go on here on the front, bolt on, and will turn the motor vertically. So I think actually this is going to go on there like that. That will go on there like that. Oh, it's beautifully designed. Really, really well designed how that all fits together. So that slides in, maybe it's that way around. I say it's well designed, and then, well, under the stress of the lights, I can't figure out how to get that in there, but clearly this slides on here because those nuts and those holes line up, and then this slides on here. So that will be my tilt rotor servos, and there are 2 of these. So that means this is a tilt rotor machine. Okay, more hardware. So this is just mounting brackets, thumb screws, that kind of thing. So not that important. Well, then hopefully this is 2 more motors, because otherwise, okay, so here we have 2 more motors. Now these will be the rear motors. Oh, these are Sunny Sky. That's interesting, because the other motors aren't Sunny Sky, are they? Let's see. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the other motors are JFRC 3515 400 kV motors. I'm going to guess that those go on the front, and those motors have to lift and do horizontal thrust. These are Sunny Sky 4112S, and they're also 400 kV. Slightly bigger actually. So if you haven't figured it out, it took me a while to figure this out, but when a motor says it's 4112, that means it's 41 millimeters across and 12 millimeters high. And that's, by comparison with this one, is a 3515. It's 35 millimeters across and 15 millimeters high. So they're just different. They're not necessarily one bigger than the other or one smaller than the other, but that is there's our motors. I've lost that motor now. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we've got 4 motors. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will be mounted on the 4 parts of the here like this, with the tilt rotor mechanism. And well, there's one package left out of everything that was here. Oh no, there's a couple more things. So there's a couple more things left. I made a bit of a mess unpacking, so I thought I hadn't found everything. So let's just open the smaller things first. Okay, these are mounting brackets, and I'm going to guess that this is more mounting brackets. Yeah, these feel the same. So let's just quickly open that up. So these, okay, yeah. So these are going to be the mounting brackets for the rear motors. And there's two of these. So that fits nicely. They're beautiful alloy. I think they're cast actually, not CNCs. They're beautiful pieces. So that's all of them. And I had one other thing. Okay, this is the last package. So, as you heard, I was going through everything and trying to figure out how everything was going to go together, and I felt like I was missing something. Well, let's see if this is, yeah, here we go. This is the last piece of the puzzle. Okay, we have everything. We have everything we need to turn this into a real plane. And there's 3 of them. So here we have 17 gram DM17 20 gram digital Metal Gear servos. This is going to be the servos that we need for ailerons and for elevator. Now what that means is that if I do want to build this plane for with rudder, I'll have to find my own servos, because clearly it's come without rudder servos, and that's just fine. That's how the plane is designed to be, and I typically like to do things like this as designed, except sometimes for strengthening things. But apart from that, here we have the entire package. The VTBird, we'll have to give it a name, right? We'll have to give it some kind of name, but this is the VTBird, and obviously the only way this flies as a VTOL, by the way, in case you haven't figured this out already, is it will have a flight controller. It will have an ArduPilot flight controller. It will have a Zealot H743, and I have that flight controller already. This flight controller was sent to me in February, and we weren't sure if it was going to arrive before the plane, but it made it in spades. So so we have the flight controller. This is I don't know when to stop, I guess. Here is where the GPS gets mounted, and so it's a beautiful little clear plastic window where the GPS gets mounted. There's this position here for mounting a camera. There's just so much space. I mean, a huge battery will go in there. This is a mounting plate here that is specifically designed for mounting a flight controller on, the flight control board, which is exactly what I usually do. I always mount the flight control board on a mounting plate and then screw it in later. And so this is, I don't know, it's great. This is just beautiful. I am so looking forward to putting this together. This will be my second ArduPilot VTOL, or quad plane, and as a tilt rotor, I got the practice from working with the VTBird, with the T1 Ranger VTOL PNP, and so I've learned a whole bunch of things about how that works that I'm now going to apply to this magnificent piece of equipment. Wow. I am just so happy to get this plane, and I'll be getting this one in the air very, very quickly. It should be a quick build, because as you can see, the structure is all here, but I have a lot of electronics to put in here, so it might take me a little while. I will keep you posted and let you know when it's ready to go. One other thing just to say about this is, in some respects now, timing is starting to feel a little bit perfect, because by the time I get this flying and in the air, it'll be the fall, and then the snow will start. And once the snow starts, it gets a little difficult to fly regular planes in a snow-covered field. But a VTOL is the perfect plane for this, and this is one of the reasons why I got this plane, so I can VTOL fly. And I will fly this plane and from the snow, and you will see it here on Plane Time. Tim the Plane Man, over and out.